Mindful detachment. Imagine you're holding a delicate bird in your cupped hands. You can feel its tiny heart beating against your palms, its warmth spreading through your fingers. You know that to truly care for this creature, you must open your hands and let it go. Yet every fiber of your being wants to keep it close, to protect it, to possess this moment of connection forever. This gentle tension between caring deeply and letting go freely reveals one of the most profound paradoxes of human existence. How do we love without clinging? How do we care without controlling? The ancient Stoics understood that our deepest attachments often become our greatest sources of suffering. They recognized that the very things we hold most tightly are the ones that slip through our fingers like water. Yet they didn't advocate for coldness or indifference. Instead, they pointed toward something far more nuanced and beautiful, the practice of mindful detachment. This seems contradictory at first glance. How can we be both mindful, which implies attention and presence, and detached, which suggests distance and separation? The paradox deepens when we realize that true love might actually require letting go. On one hand, you experience the world through your attachments, your relationships, your goals, your possessions, your ideas about yourself. These connections give meaning to your days and shape your identity. They provide comfort, purpose, and a sense of belonging in an uncertain world. When you love someone deeply, when you're passionate about your work, when you feel connected to your community, you're fully alive and engaged. On the other hand, these same attachments become sources of anxiety and pain. You worry about losing what you have. You suffer when things don't go according to your expectations. You find yourself grasping desperately at experiences that are naturally flowing and changing. The tighter you hold, the more you suffer when circumstances shift, as they inevitably must. Consider your relationship with your own thoughts and emotions. You might notice that the feelings you try hardest to suppress often persist the longest. The anxious thought you push away returns with greater intensity. The sadness you resist becomes a weight that follows you through your days. Yet, when you observe these inner experiences with gentle attention, neither pushing them away nor drowning in them, something shifts. They begin to move through you like weather through the sky. This is where mindful detachment reveals its wisdom. You can be fully present with your experiences without being enslaved by them. You can care deeply without being consumed by worry. You can love completely while holding everything lightly. Think about a master gardener tending to her plants. She waters them carefully, provides nutrients, protects them from harsh elements. Her attention is complete, her care genuine and devoted. Yet she doesn't try to force the roses to bloom in winter or demand that the oak tree grow faster than its nature allows. She works with the natural rhythms and cycles, accepting what she cannot control while lovingly tending to what she can influence. The gardener understands something profound about the relationship between effort and surrender. She knows that her plants are not truly hers to possess, but rather living beings she's privileged to nurture for a time. This perspective doesn't diminish her care. If anything, it makes her attention more pure, less clouded by ego and expectation. You might discover this same quality of care in your own life. When you hold your relationships lightly, you create space for others to be themselves rather than extensions of your needs. When you pursue your goals with non-attachment to specific outcomes, you can pour your energy into the process without being crushed by setbacks. You begin to taste a different kind of freedom. This freedom doesn't mean becoming passive or uncaring. The Stoics weren't advocating for emotional numbness. They were pointing toward a way of being that's both deeply engaged and fundamentally free. You care because caring is your nature, not because you need specific results to feel okay about yourself. Imagine standing beside a flowing river. You can appreciate its beauty, feel gratitude for its life-giving properties, even cup some water in your hands to drink. But you don't try to stop the river from flowing or redirect its course to suit your preferences. You work with its nature, receive its gifts, and let it continue on its ancient path. This river becomes a mirror for how you might relate to all the flowing experiences of your life. Your thoughts, emotions, relationships, and circumstances are always in motion. When you try to freeze them in place, you create turbulence and suffering. When you flow with them mindfully, staying present but not grasping, you find a deeper kind of peace. The practice of mindful detachment gradually teaches you to distinguish between what you can influence and what you cannot control. You begin to see that your happiness doesn't depend on arranging external circumstances to match your preferences. Instead, it emerges from your capacity to respond wisely to whatever arises. You start to notice the difference between preference and attachment. You can prefer that your loved ones are healthy and safe, while accepting that you cannot protect them from all of life's uncertainties. You can work diligently toward your goals while remaining open to unexpected paths and outcomes. You can have opinions without needing everyone to agree with you. This shift in perspective is like removing a pair of tinted glasses you didn't know you were wearing. Colors become more vivid, details more clear. You see your life as it actually is rather than through the filter of how you think it should be. This clearer vision allows you to respond more skillfully to whatever situations arise. The ancient Stoics spoke of this clarity as a form of inner citizenship. You become a citizen of the present moment rather than an exile dreaming of different circumstances. You find your home not in having everything go your way, but in your capacity to meet whatever comes with wisdom and grace. As you settle into this understanding, you might feel a gentle unwinding in your chest, a softening around your heart. The desperate quality of wanting begins to transform into appreciative receiving. You realize you don't need to clutch at life so tightly. You can trust the process enough to participate fully while holding the outcome lightly. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, you don't need to solve the paradox of mindful detachment. You don't need to master this ancient wisdom before morning comes. It's enough to simply notice the places where you've been holding too tightly, to breathe a little space around your attachments. Perhaps the greatest freedom comes not from having everything you want, but from wanting nothing more than what this moment offers.